Have you ever looked back and wondered, where did all those years go? The dreams that slipped away, the chances you didn't take, the relationships that ended before they made sense, do they haunt you? Do you feel like life stole time from you and never gave it back? Now imagine this. What if I told you that none of it was wasted? That the universe has kept every lost moment, every mistake, and every heartache in a sacred vault, and it's about to return it all to you in a way that will surprise you? This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a deeper truth echoed by the insights of Carl Jung, one of the most influential thinkers of our time. Jung once said, "What you deny subdues you. What you accept transforms you." And right now, you're standing at the threshold of transformation, the illusion of wasted time. Let's begin with an honest admission. We've all lived through moments where time felt like sand slipping through our fingers, years spent in the wrong job, relationships that drained us, time lost in doubt, fear, regret. But what if the perception of wasted time is the real illusion, not the years themselves? Carl Jung taught us that the unconscious mind remembers everything. Similarly, the universe doesn't throw anything away. What you call a mistake, it calls preparation. What you think of as a detour, it sees as design. And here lies the first deep truth. Time isn't linear. It's cyclical. And what was lost is now being recycled into your becoming. Reframing regret as a resource. Ask yourself, how often have you mourned the path not taken? The job you didn't apply for, the person you let go, the version of yourself you never became? We store these moments in our minds like failures. But this is a distorted mirror. In reality, these weren't failures. They were layers of insight, of resilience, of growth that were building silently beneath the surface. It took me years to learn this personally. I remember walking away from a project that I had invested heart and soul into, something I thought would define my purpose. For years, I called it my biggest mistake. But today, every skill, every lesson, every ounce of emotional intelligence I gained from that experience is exactly what fuels my work now. So was it really a loss? Or was it the foundation for something greater? The invisible blueprint of experience. The universe works with precision. Every door that closed, every path that broke your heart wasn't a punishment. It was an invisible blueprint being drawn painstakingly for the person you are becoming. Even your most painful memories carry secret gifts. That toxic relationship, it taught you your worth. That job that drained you, it gave you skills you didn't even know you'd use again. And those dark nights of the soul, they made you deep. They made you real. They carved out the capacity to feel, to empathize, to understand. In this view, the universe isn't punishing you. It's preparing you. When the past begins to return, there comes a moment, sometimes quietly, sometimes suddenly, when the energy of your past begins to return to you, not as it was, but as it was meant to be. You start noticing strange synchronicities. You think of someone you haven't seen in years, and they call. A job offer shows up that connects perfectly with a passion you once buried. A dream you shelved reappears stronger, clearer, and finally within reach. These aren't coincidences. Carl Jung called this synchronicity, a concept that suggests events are connected not by cause, but by meaning. And when these meaningful patterns emerge, it's a sign that your inner state has shifted, and now the outer world is beginning to reflect it. From pain to power, the first dynamic of return. The first dynamic in this great universal return is the transformation of wounds into strength. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, and every setback has left something powerful within you. This isn't just motivational fluff, it's psychological truth. Pain breaks things apart, but it also reveals what is real. Discomfort is a crucible where character is formed. And when you begin to integrate the pain rather than suppress it, you uncover the deep reservoir of wisdom it contains. Many people spend their lives trying to forget their pain, But what if the pain wasn't meant to be forgotten, only understood? Your past suffering wasn't an end. It was a sharpening. And now, that sharpened edge is ready to cut through new possibilities. The return of forgotten connections. The second dynamic is something subtle but profound. The return of forgotten connections. Have you ever had someone from your past suddenly resurface with a message or opportunity? Or stumbled across an old idea you once loved but abandoned? These moments are not random. When your inner frequency evolves, it calls back the people and opportunities that still have a place in your future. Think of it like a magnet realigning to a new field. As you change, the people, ideas, and chances that match your new level begin to gravitate toward you. Sometimes the connection was never really broken, it was just paused, waiting for the right version of you to appear. The universe keeps everything. There's a quiet elegance to the way life rearranges itself. The universe forgets nothing. It wastes nothing. It simply stores everything until you're ready to receive it again. And this leads us to the heart of this realization. The time you thought you lost isn't gone, it's been transformed. It's waiting for you. It will not return in the same form. It will return as wisdom, opportunities, maturity, and clarity, but only if you are ready to receive it. So ask yourself now, not out of fear, but out of courage. Am I ready to reclaim the years I thought were gone? We explore the sacred truth that nothing is ever truly lost, not time, not experience, not even pain. And now, we're stepping into the deeper current. How exactly the universe begins to give it all back. But here's the key. It won't come back as it was. It will return refined. It will come back restructured to match who you become. You see, the return is not about reliving the past. It's about harvesting the essence of your past in a form you're finally mature enough to hold. Let's talk about how this plays out. 1. The return of authentic desire. As you heal, you begin to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. You start feeling drawn to things you once loved but left behind: painting, music, writing, teaching, building, exploring. This is no accident. These are the original desires of your soul, making their way back to you. Carl Jung believed the psyche was always trying to make itself whole, and in the process of becoming whole, we reclaim the forgotten parts of ourselves. These aren't hobbies or breadcrumbs leading you back to your essence. The universe brings these desires back, not as nostalgia, but as an invitation. Are you ready now to live from your truth? 2. The rise of divine timing. Another powerful dynamic in this return is alignment with timing. There were doors you once knocked on that didn't open. People you chased who ran the other way. Jobs, dreams, paths that just wouldn't click. Now, they start to return, but not out of desperation. This time, they return effortlessly, sometimes unexpectedly, and always meaningfully. This is the universe showing you. It wasn't a no. It was a not yet. The years that seemed dormant were, in fact, ripening you. You needed to fail to learn humility. You needed to be alone to cultivate self-worth. You needed to walk away to gain perspective. And now that you're ready, things start falling into place, not because you push, but because you're finally aligned with who you truly are. 3. The rebirth of identity. When your inner world evolves, your external identity often begins to shed. You stop wanting to be who you thought you had to be. The people you once tried to impress now feel irrelevant. The accolades that used to define you feel hollow. This can be disorienting at first. It feels like losing yourself. But it's actually the birthing of a new self, one that's deeper, quieter, wiser. It's not just about achieving something. It's about becoming someone. Carl Jung called this individuation the journey toward becoming whole. And on this path, your truest self returns, not as a persona, but as a presence. 4. The gift in letting go. One of the most powerful signs of the universe is giving your life back is that you finally stop clinging. You stop trying to control outcomes. You release the obsession with timelines. You let go of needing to prove anything. And strangely, magically, that's when everything starts to come in. Letting go is not resignation. It's confidence. It says, I trust life enough to stop gripping it with fear. And in that space of surrender, the return accelerates. 5. The legacy of healing. Perhaps the most beautiful return is this. The healing you've done quietly, bravely, in the shadows is now becoming a gift for others. The pain you thought would break you has become your empathy. The failure you thought disqualified you has become your wisdom. The time you thought was stolen has made you timeless. This is when you start becoming a lighthouse for others. Not because your life is perfect, but because your presence is real. And this, perhaps, is the ultimate return. You become what you always needed. And now, you get to offer to the world. So what you do now, you trust the return. You stop mourning what was, and you start opening to what is becoming. You listen to your instincts, revisit old dreams, take aligned risks, stay open to strange synchronicities, and trust the invitations life sends your way. Because the universe isn't finished with you. In fact, it's just getting started. If you felt this message speak to something deep inside you, don't let it fade away. Pause, reflect, recommit. This is not just a video. It's a reminder that you are not behind. You are not broken, and the best years of your life are not in the past. They're forming right now under the surface. So here's what you can do. Subscribe if you want more content that helps you remember your deepest truth. Comment below. What part of your past you now see as a gift? Let's share, let's heal, let's return together. Share this video with someone who needs to know their time is not over, it's about to begin in a whole new way. Because your lost years were never lost. They were seeds. And now, finally, they're beginning to bloom